Well, hello everyone. I'm back today with this chapter 6 from my second book, The Family Business Guru. This video is part of this book chapter reading series, and it's a playlist on my YouTube channel. And I have done 5 other videos on the playlist in this series that were for chapters 1 through 5 of the book. And so if you have not watched those and you'd like to catch up, you can go ahead and find those on my channel. While you're there, make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so you'll get the notifications for all the future content as well. And this is my second book, The Family Business Guru. You can see both my books up behind me on the wall. But if you are interested in having harmonious relationships with your family and having a thriving, successful, profitable, aligned business around your family, then this is the book for you. And so if you have a copy already, congratulations. If you don't, make sure you get your copy. The link to get the book is in the description box, and I will put it in the comments as well so you can get it easily. And when you order your book, I personalize a message and I handwrite my personal message to you and sign it for you. And I also send it to you with this beautiful bookmark that has my favorite quote on it. And the quote goes like this: always remember, harmony has money in it. So the word harmony has money in it, and having harmony in your family, relationships, business, the systems, processes, and culture of your business automatically creates more money and more prosperity in your life and profits in your business. So that's what the quote is a reminder for. And so you do not want to miss this chance. I'm only doing a few personalized messages for the books every month. And so get your copy if you don't already have it. And if you already have your copy, let's pull it out, bring it out. Let's read chapter 6 together today. Chapter 6 is the most exciting chapter. It's about money, negotiations, and family dynamics. That is the title of the chapter. So I'm very excited to dive into chapter 6 today. Let's open up to page 53 of the book. If you have the paperback version, if you have the digital, just open to chapter 6 and let's dive in. When money, negotiations, and family get involved together, the dynamics become very interesting, to say the least. If you are in the midst of strained relationships because of the complexities of negotiations with family members, this chapter is where we will unravel all of that and more. Understanding the concepts described in this chapter will help you create healthy boundaries, which are key to achieving the harmonious growth and success you desire in your family business. Let's start with the very basics first. Here is a very important distinction that I want you to understand: the difference between love and attachment. The difference between love and attachment. This may be a widely misunderstood and misinterpreted topic in our world today. It is critical to understand it and then implement changes accordingly. Love is the unconditional power of trust and confidence that emanates from the heart. Attachment is a byproduct of an insecure mind, a mind that is filled with unworthiness and fear of one's own existence. Love is the state of consciousness which arises from deep compassion and the connection with one's self and the entire cosmos. Attachment is a desperate longing of such deep connection, yet actually just a futile effort to fill the void and the disconnection with oneself and the world with external tangible validation like things, people, positions, etc. Love is always uplifting, honoring, empowering, and motivating toward oneself and others to allow all beings to become better versions of themselves. Attachment, attachment weighs heavy on us and people around us. Attachment, it becomes limiting and restricting, counterproductive, and ultimately is just an effort to give oneself a false sense of significance. Love is freeing, generously allowing self expression, while attachment is binding, suffocating, restrictive, and controlling toward true expression. Love says, "May the divine power that created us shower all the heavenly blessings over my offspring or my loved one." Attachment says, "I must be the one to give all the worldly pleasures and things to my offspring or my loved one." Love says, "May I be proud of my children and many generations ahead." Attachment says, "I want my children and people around me to be proud of me." Love is the true and authentic language of the divine, while attachment is the false mirage of love, which shows up when there is a deep disconnection from the divine. Next section, money as energy. Money is just a form of energy because everything is energy at the core essence. Money is also a man made concept that represents an exchange of value. However, money means different things to different people. What is money for you? Have you ever really thought about this? We all grew up with basic, fundamental beliefs about money, which come from the collective consciousness, your family's history, and family line consciousness, the place where you were born and brought up in, the culture you came from, and even the religion that you were exposed to in childhood. Money beliefs also come from your parents and role models as a young child, and the other people around you when you were in your early childhood. After that, they come from your own experiences in life and what you personally chose to believe to be true for you and in the world. Have you taken stock of what money really means for you? What is money according to your definition? It is very interesting to do this exercise because when I asked this one simple question to all of the team members in my client's company, every single person had a different answer to the question, "What is money?" Someone said, "Money is freedom, abundance, and very valuable." While someone else said, "Money is a big problem, it is scarce and hard to get, and it's a lot of work to get it and keep it." Yet another person said that money is a resource, and an important resource at that, and very helpful to use and to have. Another person said that money was the bane of our existence and the source of all the struggle in the family. This person believed that if they only had enough money to go around for everyone, then only the family relationships could be saved. Are any of these answers right or wrong? Not really. The fact is that these answers are individual perspectives coming from different people with different beliefs and observations. Each of these answers is just the person's own take on money, not what money is in itself. Money is also the currency in our economy, which is made to be circulated and it needs to stay in flow to actually create value and abundance in the world. So you may realize here that there is money as the truth of what it is, and then there's money as the perspective that you see it with, which is actually your money story, your story about money. Whether money brings you freedom or it brings on problems is dependent on your money story. Whether money serves you or is hard to get is basically part of what you believe to be true in your money story. Money at its root is just neutral. It is just a form of energy that is here to take form and return back to its energetic form once its role is complete. One thing I know about money as energy is that it loves having a purpose, just like everything else in this loving, friendly universe does. It loves to stay in flow, freedom, and circulation. It loves to be appreciated. Money only comes to those who appreciate it, value it, and love having it. This is why understanding your comfort zone around money is very, very important. Your comfort zone around money can be understood in two stages. The first one being your comfort zone around being able to bring in and attract money to you in your energetic field. And the second being your ability to save and invest it to grow it for the long term. So, what is your money blueprint? What is your energetic comfort zone for bringing in money right now? And what is your money comfort zone for being able to keep and grow the money where it can have babies and even grandbabies if you'll allow it to? And then we have a quote. The quote goes like this: experiencing abundance and fulfillment in life is a direct result of being true to one's self within. Unveiling your money blueprint. Often, I see that people in the same family unit usually share the same money blueprint, but may have slightly different perspectives or stories about it based on their specific experiences during their upbringing. So you may notice that subconsciously you are programmed to think of money and behave around it in the same way that perhaps your parents were or grandparents were. You may not even be aware of all the beliefs you have around money, but you probably can notice a trend in your family. Perhaps your family always has a lot of money coming in, but could not hold on to the money. So the money left as soon as it came in. Perhaps your family has a history of not too much money coming in, but then being able to hold on to the money that does come in. Perhaps your family even holds it too tightly and perhaps even hoards it sometimes. Perhaps your family has a history of being able to bring in more money consistently and being able to keep the money and invest it to grow it consistently in the long term. Or perhaps your family has a completely different history than the examples above. The truth is that childhood trauma and feelings of insecurity are actually scarcity in disguise. Creating harmony in your business, family, and life begins by recognizing this fact. Creating and preserving generational wealth is not possible by staying in scarcity. It is a result that can only be achieved through divine harmony. In any case, the money that has a pattern for coming in and staying or not is the programming that is probably built into your subconscious. Perhaps you are able to create and manifest money and it comes in, but then you notice that somehow it goes out as fast as it came in. If this is the case, there could be a scarcity paradigm running this show, not only in your subconscious mind, but also in your family unit and the entire family consciousness. In this case, the healing needs to happen not only within your individual subconscious mind, but also in the collective of the family unit. In fact, you may have been called to do the healing work for your family unit by first being the example of that healing within yourself and then contributing to the change in the collective consciousness of your family so that consciously or unconsciously, other people in your family have permission to move into their healing process as well. While everyone has free will, and they could choose whenever it's the right time for them to participate in the healing journey, you taking part in your own healing journey might be a catalyst that can accelerate the readiness and willingness of your family. This occurs because energetically, you are very closely connected to the rest of the people in your family, whether you feel relationally connected to them at the moment or not. So here's what I want you to do. Consider that you taking a step toward your healing journey is you actually taking a stand for a brighter, more positive financial future for your entire family unit, your ancestry, your future generations, as well as the collective of humanity. This is a big step to take, and I congratulate you for being willing to take that step. Since family units are foundational to a functioning community and well-functioning communities are foundational to a wealthy and thriving world, it is in the favor of humanity that you take this journey for yourself and start to heal yourself fully in your finances and relationship with money. Begin your healing journey. This healing journey begins with you intimately examining your current beliefs around money. These beliefs can fall into two major categories. The first category is one of scarcity, lack, hardship, struggle, burnout, and unworthiness. The second category can be one of abundance, freedom, choices and options, enjoyment, pleasure, and ultimate truth of worthiness and self-respect. Now take a notebook or a journal and a pen and write on the top of the page, what are my current money beliefs? With that journal prompt, let all of your thoughts that come up when you think of money flow through your mind while you just jot them all down. Do not try to analyze, rationalize, explain, or justify any of the thoughts that come to your mind. Just let your thoughts flow and capture everything as is that comes through in your journal so that we can take a cold, hard, authentic look at it. Once you have finished writing down everything that came to your mind, without rereading it, flip to a new page in your notebook and write this new question. What would I like to feel about money and believe about money in my life ahead? Then start writing everything that flows through you, every idea or thought that comes up in that category. Let every thought flow and just jot everything down without judging it, without trying to justify anything, and without trying to fix anything. Once you have noted everything that comes up in this category, now you can stop writing and go into the next step, which is reflection. Self-reflection is the key to recognizing the truth about the current state and then choosing the new state of being. Now, go back to the thoughts you jotted down in the first category and note how many of those thoughts are empowering for you and how many of them are disempowering. Count the number of disempowering and empowering thoughts in that category and put the number down in your journal. For example, if you've written 20 thoughts and you notice that 15 of them were disempowering and 5 of them were empowering to you, then you would just have disempowering 15 and empowering 5 on your journal notebook page. Now go to the pages where you wrote down what you would like to feel and what you would like to believe about money and read what you wrote there. Notice how many of those thoughts were empowering and how many were disempowering, and then jot down the number of empowering thoughts and number of disempowering thoughts from this section as well. Once you have the numbers of empowering and disempowering thoughts on both pages, you will be able to see what's really been driving your financial life and reality up to this point. And it will also give you a direction of which way to proceed in order to create your new financial reality so that it can serve you in your life. Take all of the disempowering beliefs and thoughts that you identified and question them. Are these really true? Are these absolutely the truth? If not, then what is actually true? Once you ask yourself these questions, you'll get the answers, and then you can wisely choose which beliefs you would like to keep in your mind for your future ahead. So let me take a little pause here. And if you have tea, a juice, or favorite beverage or something, take a sip of it. I'm actually excited to make my favorite smoothie after this reading is completed today. So we will keep reading. Let me know in the comments if you have a takeaway, an aha moment, or something that just like hit you so far from the reading of chapter 6 from the Family Business Guru today. It's really important to reflect on what you are taking away from the content from these chapters, because that helps you register that takeaway in your mind and actually encourages you to implement that as a new habit, as a new action step that you can take in your life so that your life can actually change. So you can have new results in your life that you would like to create. So let me know in the comments, what is your takeaway, your aha moment, your insight from the chapter 6 reading so far. And with that, I will continue on with the next section. Setting boundaries to create the space for healthy negotiations. Boundaries are a very important concept to understand. When you think of boundaries, you may think of separation. The truth is that there is no separation in the ultimate unified field of consciousness, only in the three-dimensional physical reality that we have incarnated in. According to Eastern philosophy, we have all taken on identities and roles that are limited to this particular lifetime, and this includes the family relationships and dynamics. So, when it comes to any family relationships that are involved in your particular business situation, it is important to realize the truths of the ultimate reality as well as the physical reality, and the fact that these truths exist simultaneously. When you can hold these truths as true for you at all times, your interactions with family or in your business can start to be seen differently. When you speak to another person, whether it's a team member or a family member, keep in mind that they are just another soul playing this particular role in this lifetime, as actors play characters in a movie. At their heart, that person is energetically part of the same universal consciousness as you are. Therefore, there is no separation between you and them. At the same time, the person is here to play a particular role as their character, and you are here to play your role as your characters in the proverbial movie. While they are in their character's role, they have free will to speak and act as their character would do in a particular situation. You, while you are in your character's role, also have free will to speak and act as your character would do in the particular scenario. Looking at the situations and people with this understanding, you can stay completely neutral and in loving acceptance of them while playing your role as well. Through your free will, you can let them play their character out completely from their free will as well. This becomes key in any internal negotiations with family members in business. By having faith and trusting the universe to guide the process, you can come up with creative and sustainable solutions for all. 4 types of negotiation outcomes. Further, here is the model of the 4 types of outcomes from any negotiations. First one is win-lose. When party A in the negotiation wins at the expense of party B, so the party B loses. Lose-win situation. That's the second one. When party A gives in due to fear and party B wins as a result of it. The third one is lose-lose. When both parties end up losing, often because of quarrels or misunderstandings that will cause lack of communication, and both parties are unable to come to a creative solution due to lack of trust. This is a really tricky one. And number 4, win-win. When both parties each get what's most important to them and win in the long term. Even though it seems like there are 4 different types of outcomes in this model, the win-lose and lose-win types are both just lose-lose eventually, because when one party wins at the expense of the other party, they both end up losing in the long run anyway. Therefore, it all boils down to just 2 types of outcomes at the end of the day. Either everyone loses, which is often what happens when you operate from scarcity, or everyone wins, which is guaranteed to happen when you operate from abundance. So always keep these 4 types of outcomes in mind during any negotiations you are part of in your business. Negotiations, when they are unhealthy, can feel like emotional blackmail, fear mongering, and threats. If you notice any of this happening in your business, this alone can be killing for your business, and you must address this as soon as possible. Negotiations, when they are healthy, often look like productive conversations involving a factual review of a situation and then creative problem solving with all parties together in an effort to create a win-win for the long term. Healthy negotiations are necessary for any business to function in a productive manner. Avoiding negotiations is a big reason for a business to fail. So, taking on negotiations and turning them into a healthy dialogue is key to business success. The ultimate negotiation process. Things get tricky, especially when there are family members involved, due to the emotions that can create entanglement in these conversations. This is where healthy boundaries are key to creating the right space for the conversation. For example, it can be helpful to create different channels of communication for different purposes. It may be beneficial to choose an email chain as a channel for a particular business negotiation, especially if it is with family members. Keeping records of the conversations in writing and not engaging in any verbal discussions or phone conversations for that particular negotiation can be helpful. Verbal discussions and phone conversations are best reserved for more casual family related topics, and keeping the business and personal interactions separate via different communication channels is a key technique that I've used in my life and with my clients to create highly successful results. When there are multiple topics of negotiation, it's usually best to choose one topic at a time and straighten that one out before moving to the next topic, rather than pursuing too many topics at once and not landing any sort of clarity on any of the topics as a result. Just like when a complex knot needs to be unraveled, one must pull on one of the threads in the knot at a time. Once that first thread is loosened, the knot automatically loosens up and becomes easier to undo. Then we can pick another thread to loosen and untie from the knot. And this way, one by one, the various threads get unraveled and the entire knot, however complex and tight it may have been at the start, can now be fully undone and resolved. If you had tried to pull on too many threads of the tight knot at the same time, this not only would have made undoing the knot extremely difficult, but any one of the threads could have also made another thread tighter, further entangling the knot and making it even more complicated than it was to begin with. It works the same way when you are dealing with family relationships intertwined in a business. Since emotions are always involved when it comes to relationships, especially with family members, knowing which thread to pull on first to untie the knot is extremely important. The way to know which thread to choose to be the first. Find the thread that has the least amount of emotion attached to it. When there is less emotion involved, the facts can be looked at much more clearly and the thread can be untied pretty smoothly. Once that thread is untied, a new level of trust that is built from that process can now help you untie the next thread. which may have been a higher level emotion attached to it. And then once again, you must find the thread with the next least amount of emotion attached to it and focused on that thread next. In this way, you can quite systematically untie a highly complex knot, no matter how deep the emotions run in your business and family situation. After navigating through numerous types of negotiations in business with my own family and for my clients, I have created the following step-by-step process that can be applied to any negotiation, especially for the negotiations that are involved in a family business. Understanding and implementing these steps in the stated order as follows can help you create an ideal outcome in any situation. Here are the steps in the ultimate negotiation process. Step 1, have all involved team members write at least 5 things which are great about this negotiation situation. Step 2, notice any conflict and downgrade the conflict into a disagreement by detaching from your own opinion and stop making the other company's or person's opinion wrong. Step 3, get really clear on what your facts and non-negotiables are. Step 4, based on the information the other party is providing, get clear on what seems to be their non-negotiables. Step 5, keeping all of that in mind, create a counteroffer to send them. Step 6, communicate the pieces of accountability. If they have promised things that are not being met, use that in the counteroffer communication back to them. Step 7, continue the negotiation process until you achieve an agreement that is a win-win for all. So those were the 7 steps in the ultimate negotiation process. Secure your family's future. A lot of entrepreneurs and business owners are frustrated, especially in their initial years in business, because they keep making losses and can't even get to break even. They have to keep putting money into the business month after month, and that seems to be the only way to keep the business alive. This takes a toll on the entire family of the business owner, and it can definitely affect your family's future and your legacy. It literally feels like you are throwing away money repeatedly, getting burned out, and eventually you'll just have to quit. This is a very common phenomenon, and most young entrepreneurs are new to this situation. So it's really important to understand that this type of situation can happen. If you are tired of making losses in your business and want to know how to turn it around to finally break even and start making profits, this section is for you. The very first step is to decide. This may sound strange, but I'm serious when I say this. You have to start by making a firm, non-negotiable decision that you are turning your business around this year. There is enormous power in your decision, and if you have been allowing your business to operate at a loss without having a strategic plan, it is most likely because you have not made a firm decision. You may have been wishy-washy with your intentions. You may have been fussing around or even stressing around, hoping that the more you worry about it and harder you work, the more likely it is to turn around. But sadly, that's not how it works. In fact, worrying about it and stressing or working harder is not the solution, and that path will only burn you out faster. So cut that out, stop the hustle, and pause long enough to take a deep breath and decide. When you decide, you literally cut off any other options there may have been, and you clearly choose your direction. You set this as a clear goal and make it the top priority for you this year. You also radiate the faith and trust in the higher power that the achievement of this goal is indeed possible in this particular time frame you've set. I was working with a client who had a business that had been operating with losses for the past 12 years. The company kept borrowing money to keep the business afloat in the hopes that the next year would be better, and the same pattern continued. When I stepped into the role with this company, the first thing we did was to create clear goals, and one of the main goals we created was to make at least $1 of profit that year. A single dollar of profit meant that the company was at more than break even. That's all. Now, we not only created this as a main goal, but we actually also decided as a team that this was going to be a reality for the business within that year. Now, once you have decided, then you can align all your actions and next decisions based on that direction you have clearly identified. After this, we started to look at every single expense on the company's profit and loss statement and evaluate the need for it. At this point, it would serve you to understand that not all expenses are created equal. Below are the 4 categories of expenses. So the first category of expenses is the destructive expenses category. Destructive expenses. These are expenses that are actually damaging your business, and these expenses should be eliminated as soon as possible from your business. For example, extra fees, customer complaints, etc. The second category of expenses is the protective expenses category. Protective expenses. These are expenses that are necessary and provide peace of mind for you in your business. These expenses should be in place and be minimized based on your business's needs. For example, insurance, legal entity, legal agreements, etc. The third category of expenses is maintenance expenses category. The maintenance expenses, these are the basic operational expenses. These expenses should be maintained on a healthy balance for business to operate smoothly. For example, salary, wages, office space, utilities, etc. And finally, the fourth and I think most important category of business expenses is the productive expenses category. Productive expenses. These are required for long-term business growth. These expenses must be proactively increased because they are an investment into the business, which brings in an ROI for the company's long-term future. For example, personal growth, marketing, sales, brand strategy, continuous improvement of systems and processes, networking, coaching, mentorship, mastermind, etc. So once you have eliminated the destructive expenses, minimized the protective expenses, and managed the maintenance expenses, you need to start looking for ways to increase your productive expenses. This is the key to not only turn your business around, but also to create a healthy and profitable business for the long term. Oftentimes, you must even increase your productive expenses while you're addressing the other three categories. But regardless, you must know the difference and make the most of every dollar you invest into your productive expenses. You also need to put your time and energy into productive expenses in order to get the best results. Additionally, you need to look at the products that you are selling and the cost of these goods and services. If you are charging less than the cost of the product or service, you must raise your price to be above the cost or reduce the cost to be below the price. Or you will have to just stop selling that product or service. This requires a little bit of simple math, but it is a must for you to calculate. Now, lastly, you must maintain faith that all the life lessons that are meant to come to you through your business are going to come up as part of the process. So there's no point trying to escape the lessons. Embrace them instead. Take rest when you need it, and then keep moving forward. At this stage, it is really important to get the help you need to achieve your goals. Depending on how important this is to your business, you may need to find the right resource and a mentor who can guide you through the process. And that way, you can ensure that you achieve your goal and ideally, dare I say, also enjoy the process. Life is too short for you to be miserable through the journey. So, in summary, make a decision that this year will be the year you turn your business around and set this as the single most important goal for you. Then get the guidance and create accountability for you to stick with that goal until completion. Take actions to clean up your business expenses and set the right pricing. And then engage your family members' strengths to create a powerful team effect, which should create a new sense of security in your mind and a level of synergy in your family that can translate into your business success. Remember that maintaining faith along with having harmonious relationships is at the core of a profitable business. And then we have a quote. The quote goes like this: more time does not equal more value. Higher quality results equal more value. Always be result oriented and seek to provide greater value from your work. That's the way to create abundance and fulfillment. In this chapter, you have learned that money is not just a currency, but a form of energy. And it can be influenced by individual perspectives, shaped by upbringing, culture, and personal experiences. Understanding your money blueprint, creating healthy boundaries, negotiating from a place of abundance, and managing your company finances responsibly are all vital steps toward building a prosperous business and securing your family's future. With that, we conclude the reading of Chapter 6 from the Family Business Guru today. And what an exciting topic, and the chapter covering all things money, negotiations, and family partnerships. So again, let me know in the comments what you have taken away from today's chapter reading, and what are you seeing as your money beliefs and your money blueprint, and what would you like to have carrying forward into your future? It's really important for you to self-reflect and get present to what has brought you to the point where you are in your life and your business currently, and how you're going to create a new future ahead. So I'm going to leave you with that, some food for thought and some journal prompts and exercises that you can do to truly transform your money mindset and your family dynamics, as well as your business profitability. And with that, I will sign off for today. If you are new to my channel, make sure you're subscribed. Hit a like button below this video if you found today's content valuable, so that other people can also find this content on YouTube. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Leave me your thoughts there. I will see you in the next video.